Hi, kindergarten friends. It's Miss Hogue with the Gulfport School District. Today, we're going to read a story about a little girl named Jamaica. Now, Jamaica loves to draw pictures, but she has to share her materials with one of her classmates, and it doesn't go very well. Let's see what happens in our story. Before we begin, we want to talk about the roles of the author and the illustrator. The author is the person who writes the story. They make the story up in their head and they put it on paper for us to read. The illustrator takes the author's work and draws the pictures that we like to look at. Today we're going to read Jamaica's Blue Marker. It's authored by Juanita Haville. She wrote the story, and it's illustrated by Anne Sibley O'Brien. She drew the pictures. Jamaica closed her eyes and thought about her picture. Mrs. Worth always said to think first, then draw. Look at Jamaica. She's really thinking about her picture. Jamaica opened her eyes and drew a tree on her big sheet of paper. Then she drew leaves falling off the tree and colored them yellow. Jamaica, Mrs. Worth said, could you please share your markers with Russell? He doesn't have any. He never has anything he needs, Jamaica thought. But she said, okay, even though she didn't want to share her markers with him. Now look at the illustration. That means look at the picture. Look at Jamaica's face. We can tell how she's feeling because the picture shows us that she looks annoyed or aggravated. Do you think Jamaica really wants Russell to use her markers? I don't think she does. Russell brought his paper to Jamaica's table. He sat down beside her and grabbed her blue marker. Jamaica picked up her brown and orange markers to finish her picture. She didn't pay any attention to Russell. After a while, she peeked at his paper. Russell was making squiggly circles all over his page. We're supposed to draw a fall picture, Russell, Jamaica said. My, look at those drawings. It looks like someone is following instructions and someone is not. Who says? Mrs. Worth, don't you ever listen? I don't have to. Russell reached out with the blue marker and made a streak across Jamaica's picture. Russell, stop, Jamaica shouted. But Russell scribbled all over Jamaica's yellow-leafed tree. Oh my, look at the illustrations. Does Jamaica look like she's very happy? No, she does not. I don't think she wanted Russell to draw on her picture. Mrs. Worth, Jamaica cried, Russell wrecked my picture. Mrs. Worth hurried over to their table. Russell, did you do this? She held up Jamaica's picture. Mrs. Worth couldn't get Russell to say, I'm sorry. He had to go sit alone and work on spelling until art was over. Now you can see that Jamaica is very upset. Mrs. Worth is helping her feel better. But look at Russell in the back. Russell doesn't look very happy either. I wonder why he was being so mean to Jamaica. Let's see if we can find out. Look what Russell did. Jamaica showed her father and brother when she got home. I tried, but I couldn't make another one as good as this. When she looked at the ugly blue squiggles, she had to swallow hard to not cry. Russell is a mean brat. Did you tell Mrs. Worth what happened? Her father asked. Jamaica nodded. Russell can't use my markers ever again. I shared with him because he didn't have any. He never has what he's supposed to have, but that's no reason to be mean. No, her father said. Russell shouldn't have messed up your picture. I like how Jamaica went to her father when she was upset. She was able to talk about how she felt, and her father understood. I hope you do that when you're upset. You should find a caring adult, whether it's a parent or a teacher, and talk about it. Your adult can help you solve that problem and make you feel better. The next day, they had art. Jamaica was glad Russell didn't sit at her table. Then he couldn't bother her, and she didn't have to share her markers with him. But at recess, Russell threw sand at her and chased two second grade girls, so he had to go to the office. Before he came back, Mrs. Worth said, I would like to tell you something. Can you keep a secret? Yes, Jamaica shouted with her classmates. We're going to have a going away party for Russell on Friday. His father has a new job in another town. They will be moving over the weekend. I thought you might like to make cards to say goodbye. Then Russell will have something to remember us by. Oh my, so Russell's going to move. Oh, good. Look at Jamaica's face. She doesn't look like she's very happy. Mrs. Worth passed out paper. Then she showed everyone how to fold the paper into a card. Jamaica didn't want to make a card for Russell. She was glad he was moving. Then he wouldn't bother her anymore. She put the paper in her desk. So Jamaica is not going to make a card for Russell. I wonder if her feelings are still hurt from him messing up her paper. At supper, Jamaica said, I like living here. I like my house and my room and the tree in the front yard. I like my school too. I'm glad you do, her mother said. I wouldn't like to move. Who said anything about moving? Ozzy asked. Russell is moving, Jamaica said. Lucky you. He won't mess up your pictures anymore, Ozzy said. I wonder how Russell feels about moving, Dad said. He might be upset. Has he talked about it? Russell doesn't say anything. He just gets in trouble, Jamaica said. Remember how I said you should find a caring adult to talk about your feelings with? I wonder if Russell has talked about his feelings. Russell didn't come to the classroom on Friday morning. He was with his mother in the office. Jamaica looked at his empty desk. Next week, Russell would be gone. He wouldn't be at his desk ever again. She decided to make a card for Russell after all. She got out the blank card and her markers too. But just then, Miss Worth asked, Who are my helpers this week? Jamaica raised her hand. Jamaica, could you collect the cards and put them in Russell's desk? Brianna and Thomas, I'd like for you to clear the activity table for the plates and cups. Oh no, but Jamaica hasn't made her card. What do you think she will do? Jamaica went from desk to desk to pick up the cards. She put the whole stack in Russell's desk. As she closed his desk, Russell came in with his mother. Oh, Russell does not look very happy, does he? I wonder if he might be sad or upset. The party started. They played games for a while and ate cake. Russell opened his desk and took out all the cards. Look, Mom, everybody made a card for me. Not everybody, Jamaica thought. She took the blue marker out of her marker bag. Then she ran up to Russell. This is for you, Russell. She handed him the marker. Well, you can use it at your new school. Oh, so Jamaica could not make a card for Russell, but she did something else instead. She gave him her blue marker. I wonder how that makes Russell feel. But you might need it, he said. Well, you like to draw. You draw the best pictures in the class. What if you have to color the sky? Someone will share with me. Well, thanks, he said. You're lucky. You get to stay here. Now Jamaica knew how Russell felt about moving. I wish you didn't have to move, she said. When Jamaica waved goodbye to Russell, she noticed that his mother was carrying his goodbye cards. Russell held up the blue marker and waved it at her as if he'd won a prize. Goodbye, Russell. I'll miss you, Jamaica said. And she meant it. Look at Russell's face. Do you think receiving the blue marker made him feel better? He sure looks like he's happy. I think it made him feel better. And I think understanding why Russell was being so mean helped Jamaica feel better. Russell was sad he had to move, and he was showing his sadness through his actions to others. Remember, when you are upset, it's good to talk about your feelings. We shouldn't be mean to our friends or the people around us. We should talk about our feelings and find better ways to deal with them. Look at Jamaica's marker pack. She's missing a marker. Do you see which one? The end. So there were a lot of characters in our story. Remember, a character are the people or animals that are in the story. But a main character is the person or animal that the story is mainly about. Our story had two main characters. Our story was mainly about two people. It wasn't about the teacher or about mother or father or brother. The main character in our story was Jamaica, but also Russell. Jamaica and Russell were in most of the story. All stories should have a beginning and a middle and an end. So let's think about what happened at the beginning of our story. I see Jamaica, and she needs to draw a picture, doesn't she? Here she's thinking about the picture she wanted to draw. Do you remember what she drew? If you said a tree, that's absolutely correct. Jamaica decides to draw a tree, but her teacher asks her to share her materials with a classmate. Do you remember who the classmate is? That's right. It was Russell. In the middle of the story, something happened. It caused a problem. What happened in the middle of the story? Use the picture to help you out. That's right. Russell drew on Jamaica's paper, and that caused a lot of problems. It made Jamaica angry, and Russell was upset as well. Jamaica talked about her problems with her family. We're not sure if Russell did or not, but we do know that Jamaica moved through her feelings and started feeling a more sympathetic towards Russell when she found out he was moving. But Russell still got in trouble, and Russell still did not nice things. That makes me think that maybe Russell did not talk about his feelings. At the end of the story, Jamaica understood why Russell had been so mean. He was upset about moving. He did not want to move. So she made him feel better by giving him something. Use the picture to see what she gave Russell and what made him feel better. I see. I see a marker in Russell's hand, and it's blue. Jamaica gave Russell the blue marker at the end of the story. And I can tell that Russell feels much better now.